In this video, you'll see how I created this falling tree drawing using mixed media. In the last video, I showed you 2 studies I did before moving on to this artwork. One in my sketchbook and another on Canson toned paper, which I was already considering for the final piece. Today, I'll show you how this detailed grayscale artwork turned out. Hi, I'm Leah, I'm a visual artist, and in the project Snippets from Europe, I'm using my last trip as inspiration for painting and drawing. I work with traditional media and I value the art process more than the final artwork itself. The idea behind these videos is to celebrate art made by humans, especially using real materials and their own hands. For this drawing, I decided to use Canson mixed media paper in gray to provide a base for the dark shadows I was aiming for, knowing that the white gouache highlights would stand out even more. I sketched the tree with a pencil, not worrying about every branch, but trying to capture the tree's personality. I still checked the reference photo, but without rigidly following every detail and allowing for some interpretation. At this stage, I'm using a fine liner to outline the shapes I sketched. I'm making the bottom of each branch a bit thicker to help me understand the tree structure for the shading in the next phase. I still keep the reference photo around, but now I'm more focused on composition, so I modify some shapes, adding or removing branches as needed. If you haven't seen my previous video, I found this tree in the botanical garden of Regia di Caserta, a royal palace in Italy, near Naples, and you can check that video if you want to know more about it. When working on toned paper, you can paint the highlights with white gouache for extra contrast. The first layer of shading was done with black pencils, serving as the base for the next phase. Now I started cross-hatching the shadows using Fineliners. I use different nib sizes depending on how much ink I want in each part of the drawing. The finer pens are for lighter shading, while the thicker ones create deep, dark areas. For the background, I wanted a soft grayscale gradient as base for the details I would later draw with an eraser. With a fine eraser pen, I'm drawing the plants behind the tree by removing the graphite base I just laid down. Sometimes I have to go over the same lines more than once to completely lift the graphite. I wanted the background to be subtle, so the fallen tree remains the focal point, but I felt some areas needed more contrast. Using a white pastel pencil, I added highlights to a few leaves in the background. After many days of work, here is the final piece. I hope you can also see the beauty and poetry of this fallen tree, just as I did when I encountered it at a palace garden in Italy. For me, artwork created by human hands carries a special energy shaped by the artist's care, attention, and love for the process. If you're like me and enjoy the art process as much as or even more than the final result, check out my other videos. Bye!